All right, here we go. This is gonna be 10 great intros to learn. And some will be easier than others, so just do the best you can. First one is Pretty Woman. All right, so just remember, just the intros here. So this is pretty easy. It's kind of almost like an E, little bluesy boogie kind of run, you know? So we've got the E twice, the low E twice. I kind of like it on acoustic. I should have done it back here. If you get back here, it's a little bit of a, sounds a little bit cooler, right? So open E twice, open low E twice, then the 4th fret of the low E, and the 2nd fret of the A string, and then open D. That's just the very first part. I think it does that. I think they do that. He does that twice. Or this is Roy Orbison, right? So I think he does that twice. Then we go into the full kind of riff or lick. And that'll be starting out the same way. E twice, 4th fret of the low E, 2nd fret of the A, and then open D. And then out we go, 4th fret of the D, 2nd fret of the D, open D. So, all right? I'm using my 3rd and 1st finger for this whole thing. All right, so that's as easy as that, okay? Let's see, I got my list here, so I remember what to do. Brown-Eyed Girl, so that is in the key of D, and this is cool because we do this like, this is cool, this is thirds here, so intervals of thirds, it means the lowest note is a third apart from the highest note, right? Okay? You know, even if you don't know what these are, we've all heard this stuff in songs before, right? Okay, so for some of you, if you don't have a cutaway, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge to do this, but you know, do the best you can here. So we're starting with our middle finger at the 8th fret of the B string, and our index is on the 7th fret of the high E string. And then we strum those two together. And our first finger doesn't lift, it just stays. It's gonna slide up 1 fret to the 8th, and we're gonna add our ring finger onto the 10th of the B. So 10 of the B, 8 of the high E. And then we slide this shape up 2 frets, so 12 and 10 of the B and the E. So we get, and we come right back down. It's kind of one of these things I like to say when I'm teaching, like you're going up the ladder and down the ladder. Right? And then we just move this up to where we're at. The middle finger's at the 13th of the B, index is at the 12th of the high E. We do the same move, we're just up higher, right? So then it's 13 and 12 of the B and the E, then it's 15 and 13 of the B and E, and then 17 and 15 of the B and the E. And again, your first finger stays grounded the whole time. It's kind of your guide finger for the whole thing. So it goes. And then we go to the D chord. We strum the D chord, and then we pick the high E, and then we got to put our middle finger or our pinky down on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and then we slide it up to the 5th. So we get. All right, so once again. All right, easy as that. A Whole Lot of Love, Led Zeppelin. This is an easy one. All right, so that's a cool riff, right? So we're sliding in with our ring finger to the 7th fret of the low E, and then we're gonna index on the 5th of the A, and then back to the 7th fret of the low E, and then I believe back to the 5th of the A. So you're kind of repeating that. And then your index finger is just gonna slide up to the 7th of the A string, and you're gonna add your ring finger onto the 9th fret of the D string, and power chord, but you're gonna use the open low E with this. So you got an E here, and then your open E, right? So you're gonna put that little bit of palm mute on there, right? So again, I'm using the pad of the hand here to get close to the bridge where I get that. See, if you're up too high, you're not gonna get the, so you can always start up here, bring it back, and you should find that sweet spot. So you see how I'm hitting the low E and then like two of them, and then I'm strumming the power chord, the A and the D string. First one I start with a full strum, and then I do that so it's. Okay, so we'll move on here. Next one is Daytripper, the Beatles. Hold on, let me, yeah. All right, so another like E bluesy boogie kind of line here, like Pretty Woman. So open low E, the middle finger's on the third of the low E, then the ring plays the fourth of the low E. And then we go to the second fret of the A string. And then you roll down to the second fret of the D. And then open D, and then the second fret of the A, and then the fourth fret of the D, back to the second fret of the A, and then open D, and then the second fret of the D. I know that in a part of the verse they actually drop that down to the A string, kind of a real blues thing, right? The 4 chord. And right back. All right, let's move on. Let's move on here. So we got Sunshine of Your Love. So that's gonna be I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. With Clapton. I'll put it in the description, but everybody knows Sunshine of Love. So here we go. So all right, so power chord here. So starting with it's a D power chord. So index fingers on the 10th fret of the low E, ring fingers on the 12th of the A string. So we strum that twice, and we just go back 2 frets with it. So then you're at 8 of the low E and 10 of the A string. So it's, and then right back up. And then we're gonna take our ring finger that's already on the 12th of the A, and we're gonna do this little chromatic, right? Going right down on the A string, 12, 11, 10, right? So far we've got. And then we bring our ring finger up to the 10th of the low E, pick that, and then the 8th of the A string. You give that a little bit of a bend, just a little bit of a bend, and then right back to the 10th of the low E. So altogether that is. I am sliding in a little bit to that last part there, so. And that's another one where it drops down eventually in the song. Drop it down to the, right? Okay. All right, that's a fun one. Walk This Way, Aerosmith. Let me remember this here. And then. All right, this is a really fun one. Really cool on electric guitar, right? So we start out with open A string, and then the first fret of the A, first finger, and then you move that up to the second fret of the A. And then you roll that down to catch the second fret of the D. Then we do that again, so it's twice. And then we pick the open low E. And I'm gonna shut that right down, that low E. And putting a little, no, not really, maybe not a palm mute, but you could experiment with that. So we do that, and then the second time through we go, our middle finger plays the 3rd fret of the low E, kind of pick that, bend it a little bit, pull off, and then the 2nd fret of the D string. So that second time through would be. Okay, and then we repeat the first time again. And then the 4th time through would be. So we do the second part, so, and then an A5 power chord at the end. So your first finger's at the 2nd fret of the D string, and you strum that with the open A. So all together again slowly. All right, so let's move on here. What's my next one? Layla. Now this is the acoustic version. How many times, and then it's like, it goes like, I think that's the, so the main part here though. So we're starting out, this one's a little bit trickier because we do have to do a B flat bar chord here. So again, do the best you can. We could make it just a power chord, I'll show you that. So we could do this a couple ways here. So we start with the open A, and then we pick the 3rd fret of the A string, and we can just strum a D chord, right? You could pick just the open D, and then strum a little bit. You could just pick, you could go right into the D, or it's a D minor chord, sorry. Okay? And I D minor is the middle finger at the 2nd fret of the G string. Index, I use my pinky, you could use your ring finger, I'm using my pinky, 3rd fret of the B string, and then index on the 1st fret of the high E. Again, you could use your ring finger there. So, kind of a down, up, and then right back to that 3rd fret of the A string. And then now we gotta go into our B flat power chord here. So I'm barring it from the A string of the 1st fret down, and then I'm basically moving up an A chord, right? My ring finger is capturing the 3rd fret of the D, G, and B. But be very careful when you do this that you don't fret the A string. I see people doing that all the time. So the 1st fret of the A string is the root, so you don't want to put your finger up here, right? Now you could just break that to the power chord, so just the 1st fret of the A string and the 3rd fret of the D string, right? That's a little bit easier, all right? So far we've got that, or the full chord, okay, so, and then back to a C, or to a C, I'm sorry. And then to a D minor, back to the D minor. I'm assuming you all know your C chord. Now you could hold on, if you use your pinky here for the D minor, you could hold on to that chord and capture the, you don't even need to move your fingers, right? Again, that's, if you play your D minor like this, then you're gonna have to do it like that, right? It's personal choice. Now something you could try is, here if I can do this, try to like not really ever stop your strumming. It's tough to do it this way though. I can't even do it like just like this, where I need to be like this. Okay, so again, that's a little bit more challenging. So just do the best you can with that one. What's next? That one was the acoustic version of Eric Clapton, right, Layla? Plush, Stone Temple Pilots. So we got okay, so again, I may be off on some of these with how long they do it for, but if you just listen, which is important, right? You can't always rely on tab, and you know, you got to learn to use your ears when you play. I know when I teach, a lot of times people aren't really listening to what's going on. They're so focused on what they're playing or the tab, and they're not really listening. Tab's not always right, you know? Okay, so again, the first part you could finger a couple different ways. So I may have done it like this. This might be something I do it a little bit different every time, but we'll start like this. So middle finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string. Ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the high E. You can strum this from like the D string down, right? And then we're gonna just keep our ring finger where it's at. So 2 strums there, and then we're gonna bring our middle finger up to the 3rd of the G string, and then your index is on the 2nd of the B. So 3 of G, 2 of B, 3 of high E. So your ring finger didn't have to move, right? See that there, that move? And then you're gonna take these 2 fingers, if you can, you're just gonna move them back a fret, each a fret, keeping the ring finger where it's at. So now you're on 2 of G, 1 of B, 3 of high E. So so far we've got. And then you just lift these 2 up and keep the ring finger down, right? And then you're gonna walk up on the B string. You're gonna strum open with this down, with the ring finger down. Then your first finger plays the 1st fret of the B string, middle finger, or you could even slide up the 1st to the 2nd fret, and then you're right back to the beginning. So the last part would be, so all together it's. Actually, it's 2 open there at the end, and then you walk up. I like to do a down up strong when I do that, right? So it's, again, this is another one where you could try to really keep the right hand. Different with the strum every time, you know, it's just, you know, make it your own, make it your own. All right, let's move on. I got 2 left here. We got Fortunate Son, Creedence Clearwater. That is, let's see, this is a fun one because this is in another interval of 6ths, right? Okay, so let me do it again here, so. Myself in time with that because there's so much space in there, right? But you see how I started like, right? Again, this is stuff I see people don't do. You know, it's not playing the songs, not trying to feel the beat, not trying to keep the beat, right? It's really important. Timing's everything to music, okay? All right, so this one's fun. So middle finger on the 9th fret of the D string, and index is on the 8th fret of the B string. Now I was using hybrid picking when I do this, and what that means is I'm picking the D string with my thumb, with the pick, and then my middle finger captures the B string. Right, now you could just use your pick, so you could just do that, right? So again, that's 9 of the D string, 8 of the B, and then we move this shape just down 2 frets, 7 of the D, 6 of the B, and your middle finger goes down to the 5th, and your ring goes to the 5th of the B. And then we just move this shape down 2 frets, 3 of D, 3 of B. And then we get this little Pick that 3rd fret of the D string, give it a little bend down, just a touch, and then kind of pull off to the open D. All right, so far what we've got here is we've got okay. So again, you have to listen to the song, try to play that in time. All right, and if you want to try the hybrid, go ahead. Right, so you notice how again. Okay, so I'm putting myself in time. All right, the last song, Message in a Bottle by the Police. Now this one's a challenging song. Let me see if I can just get... Okay, I gotta remember some of these. So this one's a great for stretching, right? Your hand out here. These are some crazy like 9th chords or 9, like add 9 chords. Right? Even if you just strum these, it's pretty cool. So 1st finger is at the 4th fret of the A string, and then you're gonna play that. Then your ring finger is gonna play the 6th of the D, and then your pinky is gonna play the 8th of the G. Right? And that could be a challenge for some of you, but that's okay. And my thumb is way underneath here, right? That allows me to get that stretch. Now, this is a case where I'm gonna poke my wrist out ever so slightly, right? But we're not always playing like that, okay? Sometimes you just need to do that. All right, so I've got 4 of A, 6 of D, 8 of G. And then I move to 5 of the low E, 7 of the A, and 9 of the D. And I slide this up 2 frets, so I'm at 7 of the low E, 9 of the A, and 11 of the D. And I move this down to the 2nd fret of the low E, the 4th fret of the A, and the 6th fret of the D. And then here at the end, you gotta slide up to the 7th of the D string. So we get, right? Wait, hold on a second. Did that wrong. Right? Again, some of these I'm a little rusty on, but so this one is tough. So again, that last part there, you gotta slide the ring finger up. Okay, and I'm putting a little. You can put a little bit of a palm mute. Right? Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there. You guys have fun with that. Like the video, please subscribe. If you want lessons from me, give me a shout. Thank you so much.